Welcome back to American Agenda. Former United States Senator David Purdue has officially announced his run for governor in the state of Georgia.
But what is it going to take to convince Republicans to vote for him over acting Governor Brian Kemp? Joining us now to discuss, longtime advisor for President Trump and former executive director of the National Diversity Coalition for Trump, Bruce LeVell. Bruce, it seems like Brian Kemp didn't get on Mr. Trump's good side, but then will Mr. Purdue get on the good side? Apparently he is behind him. How do you see this playing out? Because the fear is amongst Republicans is if they start fighting, they actually won't be Stacey Abrams, who, by the way, only lost by like 1.5 percentage points.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me, Bob and Heather. Well, listen, David Purdue, if you saw the polling here a month ago, was 41% versus Kemp, 26%. And listen, here's the thing about David Purdue. David Purdue had a very successful tenure as a U.S. Senator. It was a very catalyst on helping the farmers when we had this catastrophe with the hurricane. He signed off on the opportunity zones. He was a very strong advocate for the president's policies. And remember this, Bob, he was one of the first sitting senators to come out for President Trump 2015 when it wasn't so popular. So he does have the America First, as I say, gauntlet that he carries from historically when he came in 2015, supporting President Trump, and very successful. So listen, going into this race, we got Herschel Walker, we got a great candidate, running for Lieutenant Governor, Burt Jones. We've got some other redistricting going on here at the 6th District, the 7th, the Sanford Bishop's District. So there's a lot of things changing now that's very promising for Republicans to win the House, not to mention getting the Senate seat back, not to mention winning the governor's seat, lieutenant governor, and all the other constitutional offices that are at hand. So with that being said, we don't need to go into this where we have this division here with a sitting governor who all he had to do, Bob, whether people agree or disagree on the election, we know there was some impropriety. It's been proven with Zuckerberg putting hundreds of millions of dollars here alone in Fulton County, DeKalb, Gwinnett County, Clayton County, where they prioritized ballot boxings that were unsupervised. And he didn't call the special session. So this created a lot of tension amongst the Trump base and where we're at now. So with David Purdue coming in polling higher than Kemp, as I said earlier in the segment, it's going to pretty much unite everyone that I'm telling you on this ticket going into 2022.
But let's talk a little bit about that because Vernon Jones is also running for governor there in the state of Georgia, as you know. And he had tweeted out something, and I was actually trying to find it, in reference to David Purdue, maybe not standing up enough when it came to election irregularities previously there in the state of Georgia.
Yeah. Well, I know he was there. I actually helped try to push him over the finish line amongst others that were voting for, Republican senators, and everybody was on the ballot. But listen, he was very strong on saying that there was some irregularities as a sitting U.S. senator about our election process. And, I say this, and I hope Vernon's watching this. I invite him to come on board and help Senator Purdue. And Senator Purdue, like I said, does have a long tenure with President Trump. He was a sitting senator. He has a great voting record. And,
here's what he said. He said that Senator Purdue had his own election stolen from him. But what did he do in response? Not a thing until he wanted to be governor. Yeah.
Well, I pushed back on that. And I know Vernon's probably a little, feelings a little hurt because, he's out there. And this is like any candidate goes out there trying to get a particular seat. And then, someone comes in and listen, one thing about President Trump, he's very good and very calculated on who he chooses and who he picks and who he endorses. And I say this to all and everyone watching this, when you're out there and you're running on a ticket, and I've done this before, I ran for Congress before, is that you're running for the movement. And if you don't get picked or endorsed, whatever, just keep plugging along. And then, as long as the other guy gets there or whoever or the other lady gets there and they take your idea or they get across the finish line, then that's all you really need to worry about. So
Okay.
I think this is going to change as, the feelings simmer down a little bit, and I think we're all going to reconcile as we go to 2022.
Yeah, it'll be interesting so that there's not enough
Yeah.
bad blood that people go out to the
Yeah.
ballot boxes. A lot of people feel that's what happened. They lost a senator seat because of the bad blood from what happened there.
Yeah.
So, Bruce
Well,
LeVell.
all the reasons to reconcile with this ticket right here, Bob, as I said earlier.
Okay. Bruce LeVell, thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Thank you.
Thanks.